It's Week 7 of the National Football League, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Chargers and the Vikings, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the L.A. Chargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
And no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So, I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
They started on the ground with Eckler. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good, as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got an open man, it's Josh Palmer. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Now a 3rd down throw, and it misses the target, incomplete. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
Let's go now.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And even though this is a top 5 rushing offense, and we see this especially early in the game, they're going to do their best to keep you honest. They don't want you getting the habit of stacking the box, so that's a good throw there, and they're able to come up with the 1st down.
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. But the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Side has got it, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now
it's a fumble. It looks like one of the DBs has it, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here, punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sense.
Yeah.
Punt it away, let your defense take over with better field position.
Now Herbert following the turnover. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Foyesson. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be calling for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Herbert. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll set up a throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Sliding out of the pocket. There's Jefferson to pull that in. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he's brought it down. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll look to throw here on first down, eluding the pressure right. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. For the Vikings, it's 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that can ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's good. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And picked up by the Chargers. Now they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was it 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, you'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
On 2nd down, here's Herbert. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Oh, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
About that, red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Shedding through the defense. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends, it might be flexed out. They've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation. He's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Back to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The LA defense up to snuff in coverage there, pushes this to 4th down. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this 1-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Herbert. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, ball's out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Got an open man here. It's KJ Hamler. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the 1st half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert throwing again. Complete to Johnston here. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
False start.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So from the 2, now they move back to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. It's Eckler again. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
A 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up for the Sunday. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, they feel disrespected, and they want to talk. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now it's Herbert. Slant route going to be caught by Palmer. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Now a give running left is Eckler. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 1st down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Herbert off of play action. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. And 2nd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Herbert's throw there complete to Hamler. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Herbert now. They put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 10-3. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the side.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball, grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball. They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on first down.
Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of...
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 62 yards.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. Fourth down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. He'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
60 Eagles, 60 Mavericks, 60 Mavericks.
They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. We'll go down, it's a gain of 6, and it's second down.
70 Rangers. Hustle.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Let's go now. Stop below 18. Let's go.
Back to throw here. Rolling to his right. Then he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. He'll look to throw. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Christian Fulton.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission.
Here we go, set.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw here is incomplete.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. That's down the field for Jefferson. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grab the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves. But I know the coach are going to be talking to about calming down, taking it easy. We've got a whole second half, but use the way we finished the first one to start the second.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So we reach halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Seahawks who are out front in the second quarter. Tyler Lockett, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Bryce Young with a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And that one, all tied. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
When you get blocking the ball,
Well, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Here is 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it'll find the open man. That's complete. And we will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, He committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play. Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And a good space to operate there as it takes this down inside the 45-yard line. 43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. They'll roll him out right. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he'll go down at the 26, forming a gain of 6. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge game, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Come on. Hey.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Deion Henley. And the Chargers are going to have it here just past the 25. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and then we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. Rashawn Slater, 1st-round pick in 2021, guilty there. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Here's Herbert. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. Now left side on the swing pass. Just a gain of a couple there, and that will bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 37. 12 yards on third down as the drive rolls on.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
From the 31, here's second down and 3. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete to Addison. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. Back to throw. Addison hauls it in. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So decision time now because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet. Okay, being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Possession switching back now to the Chargers. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 69 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, last drive they went 3 and out.
On first and 10, Herbert. Little short pass. This is Everett. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up second down. Herbert. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. The kick by Sanders is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Vikings to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And this will be a Vikings first down as he gets this up past the 30. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Well, a clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the run running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Well, he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Looking to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Herbert and the Chargers down by 7, 1:46 to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Herbert. Johnston hauls it in.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Now 2nd and 4. Throwing, Herbert. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back early in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
On fourth down, here's the option. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. So for Minnesota, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
It was